I'm getting a bit philosophical in my old age. Comes with smoking a pipe, I suppose. Hint here, if you're ever wanting to do a video about pipe smoking. Always backlight the smoke. It looks more impressive. I think philosophy comes to you one way or another as you get older, as you mature, as you start to see the world for perhaps what it is and what it isn't. And over the last 15 months, of course, I have been very much looking at what the world isn't, questioning what I thought it was, and understanding who I am. And in yesterday's monologue, I revealed that I'd been in touch with the government. I've not heard anything yet, and told them that I know who I am. That I am, in fact, a nameless spirit that inhabits a flesh and blood body. That I'm not a corporatized, theoretical identity that's been scribed in hieroglyphics on a piece of paper, in a piece of paper world. And I'm not part of that. I'm clearly not part of that, as my fellow men and women in this world also are not part of that. And I know that we've been deceived, and we are continuing to deceive the next generation and preparing them for the same. Alan Watts, a philosopher, he went around giving talks about all sorts of spirituality in I suppose, the 60s and 70s. And he talks in one of his videos about how we as people have been prepared really for the corporate generation, for turned into drones, preparing for something all the time, from nursery school to secondary school to university to further education, and then into the workplace, always for something that's going to happen at some point. The rewards will come, and we work for so many years, and then of course we retire, and supposedly we've got to the point where we had everything, but we're too old and too useless to enjoy it, and somehow we've been robbed of this period of time on this planet. And he's right. He's right. And we do that with the children. We keep preparing the next generation so that they too will come to the same point and say, well, hang on a minute. Why were we never free? Why were we just always achieving things for these dead entity corporations, where very few seem to have got the rewards and we got nothing? Why have we not thrived and lived free on this amazing planet? And the other thing that comes with maturity, of course, and my audience, which is pretty much mature, I would imagine. I can't imagine that many young people watching this and understanding, which is a shame, is that we realize not only have we been cheated, but the good things, the best things in life actually are free. And so it does seem to me that we need to stop bringing up the next generation in the way that we have. That we need to be thriving. We need to understand what freedom is. We need to move away from these dead entity corporations which have made our lives dull, have made us tired at the end of the day. It's been a treadmill to what? To create what? I never really understand it. The things that mean things to you and to me are intrinsically already there. I grant you that we live in a world in which money or trade is important, but we can still do that without these big corporations owning everything, grabbing everything. And now we've seen land grab, we've seen terrible policies, this whole myth of global warming and the net zero agenda, and governments wanting to control everything and turn us even more into drones, which of course we have also been poisoned, not only in the various things from children upwards that have been jabbed into us, things that were actually of no use whatsoever and in fact made things worse, but also the atmosphere, the air, the water, as we continually grow on, talk about. We need to push back against all of that living because it's clearly going nowhere and enslaving us, as I speak about so frequently. I came across this book, which is on my shelf, published I think in 2016. It's called 6 Steps Back to the Land: Why We Need Small Mixed Farms and Millions More Farmers, by Colin Tudge. I think he swallowed the global warming agenda, and he does talk a little bit about carbon capture and all of that rubbish. But in essence, his points are true. We need to go back to the land, and we need more of us to be farmers. We need to connect with the things that are actually fundamentally important, and that is what we put into our mouths need to nourish us and give us something which raises our health, our vibration, our vitality, and our freedom, instead of the projected foodstuffs that they're talking about for us to eat in the future, and the highly processed, unnourishing rubbish that is sold by the supermarkets. Children, who are the next generation, need to be free. They need to not be at school and indoctrinated with this policy of you need to work 9 to 5, you need to work for corporations, you need to become a corporation, you need to be this dead entity, this fictional person. Children need to run around, get their hands dirty. They need to do what they want to do, to thrive, to become the people they want to be, and be encouraged by their mothers and fathers to live a life of joy, of being honourable to one another and helping, to finding trades and crafts that give them pleasure, and to recreate a world that others will enjoy. The land is only ours to borrow and make use of. We are the custodians of that land, and we need more farmers, small mixed farming, to bring us nutrition and value to our lives. And there is a myriad of jobs that comes with getting back to the land, but we've become too lazy, we've become conditioned, we sit and watch the screens in which, as Alan Watts says, in a 2D world, we're watching people actually enjoying their life in the so-called comfort of our homes by not actually experiencing it. And it's only when you get to the end of your life do you think, my God, why did I do what I did? Why did I succumb? What have I got out of it, really? I've been very lucky because I've not gone into the corporate world. I've been an entertainer, and I've been very much in control of the things that I wanted to do, probably a thorn in the side of the government in one way, just by being self-employed and not acquiescing, not going to university, not falling for the trap and the lies. And so being open-minded, living off my wits and enjoying life. And now at 60, wishing to get back to the land, to grow things, to rear animals, to be out of their system. And why not? People say, oh, but farmers are giving up at 60. And I feel I'm only just starting. I'm only just becoming alive. And why not? I have probably, if I eat well and work hard and thrive and enjoy my life and realize who I am and get out of the system, I probably got a good at least 40, another 40 years. You may laugh. You may say, oh, not if you're smoking that damn pipe. Well, you've got to have optimism. You've got to have hope. And you've got to live each day for itself. You've got to get out the bloody system. But more than that, it's the next generation. And if you've got kids or you've got grandkids, we need to give them a future. Get them out of those wretched state education systems that are indoctrinating them. Get them out from all that terrible policy that's being thrust on them. Get them back onto the land. Have them run around, understand what food is, what rearing animals are. Get them to have a connection with Mother Earth and Mother Nature. Let them make up their minds who they want to be and how they want to live. That, to me, at this stage, is the most important thing that we can all do.